So I actually just got out of watching Blue Beetle. Went pretty early in the morning, and yet there was actually quite a few people. I had to wear the Cobra Kai headband, mainly because I love Cobra Kai. It's one of my favorite shows, and because Solo Maridona's there. But also, I gotta represent my people. Got the Salvadorian flag. I guarantee you, most of you guys watching this video don't even know what the country of Salvador is. Then I got my Mexico jersey there because, as me, Hispanic person today, I get to flex that fact that I'm half Hispanic. I almost said half Hispanic. I'm half Mexican, half Salvadorian. So just want to put that out there. If you're Salvadorian out there, just want to tell you there's someone out there that's going to become a big YouTuber one day from that little ass country. Anyways, let's get into the Blue Beetle review without spoilers. So I got to watch Blue Beetle. I actually got an early morning screen, not an early screen, but an early morning screening for the film. There's actually quite a decent amount. I watched this movie pretty early in the morning, and yet that was the most I've ever seen because I've gone to a lot of early morning screenings, and I've never seen that many people. It wasn't full, but it was still like, goddamn, for that early in the morning. But anyways, I watched Blue Beetle. Some of you are going to say, am I going to be biased in this review? Guess what? Every fucking reviewer is biased. If you think that people aren't biased in general, then you're just a silly goose and you don't really understand the world. And you should probably really reconsider everything. But yeah, I'm going to be biased. I'm Hispanic. I love DC, and I've been excited for Blue Beetle. I love the trailers. But now what do I think about this movie? Well, I didn't love this movie, but I really, really liked it. But I will say there's moments in this movie that I really, really love. First of all, I think it's a solid movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a fun film. And if you're looking to hang out with your family, I really think this movie is really perfect for that. To me, I cannot wait to buy this movie on Blu-ray so I can show my mom. Because obviously I think this movie is a movie that I feel like Hispanics really are going to love. First of all, this movie will depend on whether or not you like the family. If you don't like the family, you're not going to like this movie. It's kind of like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. If you don't like, and I'm not saying it's in that level of whether you like it or not. To me, I prefer this movie over TASM 2. But the thing about TASM 2 is that movie is heavily carried by Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. This movie is similar when it comes to the family itself. But then again, that's also fine because this movie is mainly about the family itself. Now, I like them all. Solo Maridoña nails it as Jaime Reyes. He feels straight out of the comics as Jaime Reyes. The family's good. Uncle Rudy, played by George Lopez, funny ass shit. He's OP. He has plot armor, all right? He has heavy plot armor, more than fucking John Wick, bro, all right? That's saying a lot. But overall, I really like the family dynamic with the grandma, the mom, the dad. They have they have a story with them. You know, they're poor. They're fearing deportation. I really like the things that they got with the family going on that just really related with me. All right, I'm gonna be honest. It really related to me, and it kind of hit me on the nail sometimes when it came to that. I don't really completely 100% with the family. I mean, I do with the Hispanic stuff, the Latino stuff. Which again, this movie, if you're Latino, no matter how low or how high you have this movie on, no matter where you are, it's almost like it'll go higher depending on if you're Latino or not. And I'm actually happy this movie exists because, Black Panther 2018, when black people celebrated that movie, I was so happy for them. And then when Shang-Chi released, and that movie was great, and Asian people love that movie, I was so happy for them. And then with Kung Fu Panda came out, fat people love that movie, and so I was happy for them. I know they were rolling down to McDonald's afterward. I'm just fucking kidding with y'all. But no, I was happy for Black Panther, Shang-Chi. I like it when movies have representation. And to me, I've always liked seeing Hispanics and Latinos represented, although usually we're just a side character. We're just going to push, which is another story here with Jaime Reyes, that Hispanics and Latinos were kind of just pushed to the side. No one gives a fuck about us. That we literally exist only to maintain somebody's grass or do some construction, And then the women are usually just the maids that clean up shit that you can't understand them, because I don't know, that's just how life works. And I like that this movie puts that at the forefront, gives us a character that's fully Latino, especially an American one, which that's what I am. I'm Latino, I live in America, and I really relate to him. And seeing the family dynamic and everything, I really love it. And I feel like, again, your love of this movie is going to depend on that specifically. And overall, I really appreciated. There's a lot of references to our community that really is in this film. You know, I saw Sean Chandler. He's a big reviewer on YouTube. They gave him Vapor Rub, and he was confused about it. But us Hispanics, we were laughing at it because Vapor Rub is an essential in every Hispanic house. I guarantee you, right now, if you have a friend named Jose or Juan or whatever, I don't, you know, Martinez, Guerrero, whatever, if you know people with those names, go to their house right now. Guarantee you, if you ask, hey, do you have Vapor Rub? Yeah, they fucking have a lifetime supply. Right now in my restroom, we have a Vapor Rub. That's essential to every Hispanic household. And they gave him one going into the movie. And I like it because this movie has a lot of callback, a lot of references to what we got. And I like that. It was so crazy because it almost felt like I could put myself in this picture and frame. And again, this movie does rely on if you like the family or not. I really like the family. There's only two things I'll criticize about the family. One of them is more of a nitpick. The other one is more of a weird thing that Jaime has with his family that makes him so it's like weird. But I don't know. I like him. I like that Jaime's dealing with one struggle that really doesn't get talked about enough, and that is college kids leaving college and then having to figure out the world, because usually people will paint it as you leave college, boom, you got that degree, you're gonna be successful. It's like, nah, bro, it's so difficult afterwards. Like now it's like, because a lot of jobs will like be like, well, we want people with experience, and it's like, how the hell am I supposed to get experience if you're not giving me that experience? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to even prove to you that? Like, I paid for this fucking college degree and all that. And there's a lot of stories and themes I said earlier, like deportation and all that, that I really think hits the nail. I think with a lot of people who have immigrant households. There's me who had two parents who were both immigrants. One of them recently got U.S. citizenship just a couple years ago, or not a couple years, actually just 2 years ago, and now they'll be able to vote the next election. And then my mom, who has a green card and all that, it's like, it's like it really hits a lot. So a lot of times when that kind of story, that's, I know I make jokes about it, but that does hit me a lot sometimes, like emotionally. And then seeing people around you get deported, it's like, it's just kind of like, it's just like, it's crazy seeing that in a movie, because usually, and I don't mean to be that guy, but Hollywood usually just paints us as fucking grass cutting cartel members. Like, you know, I love Breaking Bad, but every Hispanic character in Breaking Bad was just, hey guys, we're in the Salamanca family, we're cartel members. It's like, but these white people, they're the good guys. Or actually, they're not the good guys, obviously, but they're the main characters. You know, Jesse and Walter. I love Jesse and Walter, but like, why is it that all the Hispanics gotta be fucking cartel members? You know, like, we're not all cartel members. I mean, not me. I am a cartel member. I'm just kidding. I mean, I got the fucking Salvadorian flag. We're literally the only. I guarantee you, the reason why most of you guys even know what El Salvador is because of the news talking about MS-13. Let's be honest, all right. Let's keep it a buck, all right. But no, I liked it all. I think the action looked cool. The CGI looked significantly better than I expected it to be, especially because this was supposed to go on HBO Max. It looks way better than The Flash visually. How the hell? The Flash cost 300 million. They were hyping up this movie as if it was like God's return to Earth, while Blue Beetle was just kind of sidelined, and we didn't even get a second trailer till like a month prior to this movie coming out. It's like, bro, how? This movie cost 100 million to make. The Flash cost 300 million to make. How the hell you even? How is that even possible? Anyways, I really liked it. It's fun. I know it's generic. It's very generic. And look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you're not Hispanic, you're probably not going to find this movie all that great, because this movie does rely on the family. Like us, I know I keep saying that, but really relies on it. But I think there's still things to relate to, because I feel like no matter where you're from, a lot of families have a lot of similarities, no matter what race and ethnicity. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're all one race, the human race. Actually, no, there's two races. There's a human race, and then there's NASCAR and Formula One, if you want to count that. But then again, who fucking watches Formula One? Then again, I don't even watch NASCAR, so yeah, I might just be wrong about that. But the action fights look cool. I think the villain has a good backstory. There's two villains in this movie. I'll get into that later. The movie has a lot of humor. There's a lot of heart in it. And overall, I think it's a fun movie. It's a great time in the theaters. I enjoyed it a lot. I think this is a movie that needs to be watched in theaters, especially if you got a Hispanic friend, bro. Take them. You know, take them. Especially if you're white. If you want to look cool and virtuous on Instagram, just be like, look, me and my fucking spick friend going to go watch Blue Beetle. Look, I'm not racist. Like, you can use that for eternity. Just have that picture and be like, look, guys, you can't call me racist, you know. But yeah, there's negatives in this movie. I also gotta say though, the villains are very generic. There's the one lady, I don't remember her name. I think her name started with the V, I think, and she is related to Ted Korg. All I know her is as Korg Lady. This movie has a lot of references to Blue Beetle, by the way, like Blue Beetle lore, like not just Jaime. There's a lot of Ted Core. Like Ted Core is a heavy presence in this film. They acknowledge this isn't the first time there's a Blue Beetle. Scarab. I thought the Scarab stuff was fun. It was enjoyable. I had a lot of fun seeing Jaime trying to figure out the Scarab and all that. There's a lot of good to the movie, but let me actually get into the negatives. Now, the negative I have is that villain, the lady villain, she's just generic. Imagine Lex Luthor if it was written by someone who's never read a Lex Luthor comic. Just rich and wants power. That's just it. She's barely in the movie. She even comes off as racist. I thought that was weird. Like, I think that felt too much on the nose too. Like, she's just racist. So I guess I relate to that. I'm just kidding, by the way. Or some of y'all relate to that. But she's just racist. That was about it. She just wants power. She wants to sue. And then the other villain, who is the fight, the fighter. I thought his suit looked cool. I think it all looked cool. I know it looks like generic Power Ranger shit, but I don't care, bro. It all looks cool to me. I like flashing lights, okay? They might as well play the weekend here because really it was blinding lights when it came to the villains. I think his backstory is interesting, although I think they really fell flat near the end with the villain. Um, and again, this movie does have an emotional moment, but one of my criticisms of the movie is that it's too. They have jokes in this movie that are really funny, but they also have jokes that are just generic MCU like, and I didn't like that. Um, and yeah, I think those are my only criticisms of the movie. I really had fun with it. There are two post credit scenes in the movie. I overall enjoyed it, had lots of fun with it. I can't wait to buy it on Blu-ray, so that I could show my family. Again, this I'm really proud that Hollywood's come a long way. From seeing us as to fucking people who just sell elote in the corner or fucking MS-13 looking ass motherfuckers. Like, it's nice to see a movie that has Hispanic characters that are actually normal, actually good people. Because I don't mean to be that guy, but I feel like a lot of racism towards Hispanic people has been contributed by Hollywood. Negative stereotypes. Don't get me wrong. I'm fine if you want to have cartel members and all that. Obviously, if you have a cartel member, they have to be Hispanic because that's accurate to the real world. But that's not the only thing we're at. Some of us are fucking YouTubers. Although none of y'all would be able to understand that. But another criticism I have with this movie is the two family criticisms I have is there's a moral code, and I've never liked this moral code of superheroes can't kill. I'm sorry, but army people kill, soldiers kill all the time, police officers kill all the time, but they're heroes because killing is a necessity if you're fighting bad guys. Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm going straight toe to toe against Jeffrey Dahmer, the guy killed and drugged 17 men. All right, I'm gonna murder that guy. All right, I don't care what you say. That's a necessary evil. If I'm against Hitler, I'm not to be like, no, Hitler, I'm morally good. I won't kill you. It's like, motherfucker, this guy tried to wipe out the entire Jewish population. Like, it's not more. But anyways, Jaime randomly at one point in the movie is like, no killing. Like, it's not something he learns. It's just random. It's like, no killing, scared. I don't want to kill people. But then later in the movie, you see his family's completely fine. There's a scene where the grandma is literally killing motherfuckers with a giant ass gun. And then there's Uncle Rudy who's like killing people and making jokes. And even at one point, Jaime is like, Grandma, you're badass. It's like, your grandma just murdered someone. You have a moral. I thought your morals were don't kill people, even if they're bad. And I'm like, where the fuck did Jaime learn his morals of not killing bad guys? Where did he learn it from? Did he read a Batman comic and was like, okay. Oh, another criticism is this movie, it feels so weird. It feels so awkward because you could call this movie a DCU movie or a DCU movie, and either way, you'd be justified believing either one. I mean, it is a DCU movie. That's what James Gunn confirmed. But, like, you could tell this movie was made for the DCU, but it's so vague because they reference Superman, they reference Batman, obviously, but they're vague references that you can easily just take them to be in Gunn's universe. And that's pretty cool. That's not a criticism, really. That's just something I found funny. A little nitpick I have, and this is a very small. This isn't even a criticism. This is just solely a nitpick. A nitpick I have is the family talks to each other in English for a lot of it. I would have liked more Spanish speaking scenes because I don't know. I This happens often when you see Hispanics in movies, but like there's times where like you see you just see them speaking in English with a very rough accent. I get it with the sister because me with my brother and my two sisters, I speak to them in English. But with my mom, my grandma, my tios and tias, I speak to them purely in Spanish. Sometimes I feel like it feels more relatable seeing that. But I obviously I understand why. That's why I don't even call it a criticism, but obviously I understand why obviously this movie is made for Americans in America, obviously. Or just the world, obviously. English, obviously, is one of the languages. I think I don't even know if it is. I don't know any fucking statistics. I don't hear me on that, but obviously, English is the market they're going for. But again, it's a nice movie that represents Hispanic culture very well. I give it my stamp of approval as someone who's in a very hardcore immigrant household that grew up around immigrants. If you watch my vlogs, if you notice, my entire friend group is all fucking Mexicans, all right? Except two of them, they're Salvadorians. That's double trouble right there. And so that's the funny reality of my life, all right? So I give it the stamp of approval. I'll give it the Chavo del Ocho approval. I don't know. I want to go into the references, but I guess I'll wait for that because I know to some of you Hispanics, I think it's better if it's like because there was one reference in this movie that I was like, oh fucking shit. Yeah, whoever made this movie definitely it did grow up in a Hispanic house. It was like because there's like Hispanic things that I feel like no one knows about except Hispanics. I think the name of the director is Angel Manuel Soto. I think that's his name. So yeah, much love the to the people who made this movie. Much love to the cast and crew. As a Hispanic, I just want to tell you that you made a W movie. You made a great movie, and I think Hispanics should go watch this movie. Even non-Hispanics, if you're white, black, whatever, you're more than welcome to watch. I think honestly, if you really want to get Hispanics to watch this movie, Warner Bros. What you should do is like you should hand out green cards to like the Hispanics walking in. You're like, hey, thank you for coming to our movie. Here's this green card. I guarantee you'd make $69 billion off of that, just that specifically. But I enjoyed it, had loads of fun. Whatever it is that you guys think, y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this movie. Do you agree, disagree? I don't know. I had fun with it. Where do I rank this movie? I rank this movie, at least for this year. I'm only talking because we got Shazam, Fear the Gods, and Flash. Two movies I really liked. I gotta say, I think I might prefer Blue Beetle over the Flash and Shazam. I don't know though. I don't have a hardcore thought on that because it's like Blue Beetle surprised me while Flash underwhelmed me. But I like those movies either way. So Blue Beetle is not a super big new, like it's not gonna break any fucking new things. But at the end of the day, who cares if Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies came out nowadays? People would have called it generic. So and I like it. It was a throwback to the early 2000s films of the superhero genre, whether it's Blade, X-Men, uh, uh, Spider-Man, whatever. It felt like a throwback to that where it's simple. It kind of feels like the Ant-Man of DC in a way. But I like that. I enjoyed it. And James Gunn, please keep Zolo Maridueña, fellow Cobra Kai. Us Cobras go through quivers. I think that's what the quote is. I don't know. But strike first, strike hard, no mercy. I don't care. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to stay sober, stay sexy, live in the now. It's obviously the weekend, so make sure you don't go out drinking. Make sure you find yourself a good group of friends. Go to a local Walmart or Target, whatever. Have fun. Because I guarantee you that's more fun than drinking yourself to death. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. See you on the next one. Ciao. Got me fucked